येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमामि विष्णुपादाय कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। So the pattern has changed now. Class Prabhupada class used to be here before. Previously Prabhupada class you would hear. Now from the book. So how is the pattern? You message me something that you have to cover this. Forgot to read. What is exactly what we have to do? Please tell me.
We read few paragraphs and then you can explain.
Some paragraph we read and then explain. Yes. Till 8:10 we have to go, right? And so how much he said? Some 4 or 5 pages we have to cover. How much? It's like that, something minimum we have to cover. Nothing, no? He messaged me something. Whatever can be covered. Cover as you like. So this chapter 1, huh?
No, page number 10.
Page number
10. Introduction.
So you're starting now.
Hmm.
So this is the first class, eh? Page number 10. Chapter 1, huh?
Page number 10. I have
Okay.
folded that
Okay, this one.
from the first paragraph.
Hmm.
Even in this one.
Okay. You have the book. Okay, I will read a little bit. Or you start. You start. First paragraph.
Even in this material world, we can have a little sense of love. How is this possible? It is due to the love which is found in the Godhead. Whatever we find within our experience, within this conditional life, is situated in the Supreme Lord, who is the ultimate source of everything. In our spiritual relationship, in our original relationship with the Supreme Lord, there is real love, and that love is reflected pervertedly through material conditions. Our love is continuous and unending. Our real love is continuous and unending, but because that love is reflected pervertedly In this material world, it lacks continuity and is inebriating. If we want real transcendental love, we have to transfer our love to the supreme lovable object, the supreme personality of Godhead. This is the basic principle of Krishna consciousness.
Next, you can.
In material consciousness, we are trying to love that which is not at all lovable. We give our love to dogs and cats, running the risk that
Loud.
at the time of death we may think of them and consequently take birth in a family of cats and dogs.
Mic is working.
Cats or dogs. Sorry?
Mic is not working. Sound is not.
It is only for recording.
Little loud.
Thus, love that does not have Krishna as its object leads downwards. It is not that Krishna or God is something obscure or something that only a few chosen people can attain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu informs us that in every country and in every scripture there is some hint of love of Godhead. Unfortunately, no one knows what love of Godhead actually is. The Vedic scriptures, however, are different in that they can direct the individual in the proper way to love God. Other scriptures do not give information on how one can love God, nor do they actually define or describe what or who the Godhead actually is. Although they officially promote love of Godhead, they have no idea how to execute it. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives a practical demonstration on how to love God in a conjugal relationship. Taking the part of Radharani, Chaitanya tries to love Krishna as Radharani loved him. Krishna was always amazed by Radharani's love. How does Radharani give me such pleasure? He would ask. In order to study Radharani, Krishna lived in her role and tried to understand himself. This is the secret of Lord Chaitanya's incarnation. Chaitanya is Krishna, but he has taken the mode or role of Radharani to show us how to love Krishna. Thus he is addressed. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord who is absorbed in Radharani's thoughts.
Next.
This brings up the this brings up the question of the who Radharani is and what Radha Krishna is. Actually, Radha Krishna is exchange of love. This is not ordinary love. Krishna has immense potencies, of which three are principal: internal, external, and marginal. In the internal potency, there are the three divisions: Samvit, Aladini, and Sandhini. The Aladini potency is the pleasure potency. All living entities have this pleasure seeking potency. For all beings are trying to have pleasure. This is the very nature of the living entity. At present, we are trying to enjoy our pleasure potency by means of body in this material condition. By bodily contact, we are attempting to derive pleasure from the material sense objects. We should not think, however, that Krishna, who is always spiritual, try to seek pleasure on this material plane like us. Krishna describes the material universe as a non-permanent place of full of miseries. Why then would he seek pleasure in the material form? He is the super soul, the supreme spirit, and his pleasure is beyond the material conception.
In order to learn Krishna's pleasure can be obtained, we must read the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in which Krishna's pleasure potency is displayed in his pastime with Radharani and damsels of Praja. Unfortunately, unintelligent people turn at once to the sport of Krishna in the Dasham Skanda, the 10th canto. Krishna embarrassing Radharani or his dancing with the cowherd girls in the rasa dance are generally not understood by ordinary men because they consider this pastime in the light of mundane lust. They incorrectly think that Krishna is like themselves and that he embarrasses the gopis just as ordinary men embrace a young girl. Some people thus become interested in Krishna because they think that his religion allows indulgence in sex. This is not Krishna Bhakti, love of Krishna, but Prakta Sahajiya, materialistic lust.
It is embrace, not embarrass. Two
Embrace.
different meaning. Embrace and embarrass. It's embrace. Next.
In order to avoid such errors, we should understand what Radha Krishna actually is. Radha and Krishna display their pastimes through Krishna's internal energy. The pleasure potential of Krishna's internal energy is most difficult subject matter, and unless one understands what Krishna is, he cannot understand it. Krishna does not take any pleasure in this material world, but he has a pleasure potency. Because we are part and parcel of Krishna, the pleasure potency is within us also. But we are trying to exhibit that pleasure potency in matter. Krishna, however, does not make such a vain attempt. The object of Krishna's pleasure potency is Radharani, and he exhibits his potency or his energy as Radharani and then engages in loving affairs with her. In other words, Krishna does not take pleasure in this external energy, but exhibits his internal energy, his pleasure potency as Radharani. Thus, Krishna manifests himself as Radharani in order to exhibit his internal pleasure potency of the many expansions and incarnations of the Lord. This pleasure potency is the foremost and chief.
It is not that Radharani is separate from Krishna. Radharani is also Krishna. For there is no difference between the energy and the energetic. Without energy, there is no meaning to the energetic, and without the energetic, there is no energy. Similarly, without Radha, there is no meaning to Krishna, and without Krishna, there is no meaning to Radha. Because of this, the Vaishnava philosophy, first of all, pays obeisances to and worships the internal pleasure potency of the Supreme Lord. Thus, the Lord and his potency are always referred to as Radha Krishna. Similarly, those who worship Narayan, first of all, utter the name of Lakshmi as Lakshmi Narayan. Similarly, those who worship Lord Ram, first of all, utter the name of Sita. In any case, Sita Ram, Radha Krishna, Lakshmi Narayan, the potency always comes first.
Ladies first.
Radha and Krishna are one, and when Krishna desires to enjoy pleasure, he manifests himself as Radharani. The spiritual exchange of love between Radha and Krishna is the actual display of internal pleasure potency of Krishna. Although we speak of when Krishna desires, just when he did desire, we cannot say. We only speak in this way because in conditional life we take it that everything has a beginning. However, in the absolute or spiritual life, there is neither beginning nor end. Yet, in order to understand that Radha and Krishna are one, and that they also become divided, the question when automatically comes to mind. When Krishna desired to enjoy his pleasure potency, he manifested himself in the separate form of Radharani. And when he wanted to understand himself through the agency of Radha, he united with Radharani. And that unification is called Lord Chaitanya.
Why did Krishna assume the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
Half paragraph you read and then half you can.
It is explained that Krishna desired to know the glory of Radha's love. Why is she so much in love with me? Krishna asked. What is my special qualification that attracts her so? And what is the actual way in which she loves me? It seems strange that Krishna, as the Supreme, should be attracted by anyone's love. We search after the love of a woman or a man because we are imperfect and lack something. The love of woman, that potency and pleasure, is absent in man, and therefore man wants woman. But this is not the case with Krishna, who is full in himself.
Yeah.
Thus Krishna expressed the surprise why I am attracted by Radharani. And when Radharani feels my love, what is she actually feeling? In order to test the essence of that loving affair, Krishna appeared just as the moon appeared on the horizon of the sea. Just as the moon was produced by the churning of the sea. By the churning of spiritual love affairs, the moon of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. Indeed, Chaitanya's complexion was golden, just like the moon. Although this is the figurative language, it conveys the meaning behind the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The full significance of his appearance will be explained in later chapters.
Hmm. Everybody read, no? Very good. So, mm, Prabhupada is explaining about the love, difference between the love and the lust in this world, right? आत्मेन्द्रिय प्रीति वांछा तारे बलि काम कृष्ण इंद्रिय प्रीति इच्छा धरे प्रेम नाम. That is difference between the love and lust. When we want to satisfy our own senses, that is called lust, and when we satisfy Lord's senses, that is called love. Difference between just like iron and gold. Hmm? Both are metals. There is huge difference. So everybody is in search of love. Hmm? But when they search in the people here around, that becomes lust. But when we repose that love for the Lord, and that is original love. Hmm? So why there is attraction between man woman in this world? Because that attraction is called Adi Ras, which is there in Krishna. Hmm? So we have been with Krishna, and Krishna actually can fully satisfy us. And Krishna can only give that real love. But when we come to this material world, then we start searching for like that person. But that person cannot replace Krishna fully. You know? So that's why after some years of marriage, husband wife, there are so many problems because they think he should act like Krishna or she should act like Krishna, which was that experience one has got. Krishna knows the mind and heart of the person, and Krishna exactly deals with that devotee in a way he wants. You know? So who can satisfy like that in this world? Nobody, impossible. But we have experienced that love there, so we want to also find such a match here. But it becomes mismatch. And so many, actually nowadays, somewhere I am preaching some youth, so they say nowadays to get married is such a big thing. You know? They are searching for the girl since 4 years. I said better is join ashram. Getting married because the expectations are so high, huh? From the other party. He should satisfy, I should have this. They expect as if that person should be like Krishna only. Hmm. But that experience has not gone. That experience is still there. That one wants to experience that same love with Krishna is experienced there. He's trying to find, but it's impossible. So that's why there is frustration. So we cannot get that love because that is love. And when we expect from somebody in this world, that becomes lust. Lust cannot be equal to love at all. Hmm. So there will be always dissatisfaction. So never expect somebody in this world to give the same love as Krishna that only Krishna can give. So if we understand, then we will not get frustrated. So that is difference between lust and love. Hmm. So the love between Radha Krishna or love between Krishna and all the gopis. So that is actual real love because that is selfless. Hmm. You know the story of Krishna having headache. Hmm. I'm also little having headache now. But when Krishna had headache, the gopis were ready to give the dust, right? No? If Narad Muni comes to you and asks, please give your dust, will you give? How many of you will give? That dust is put on Radha Vrindavan Chandra's head. Vrindavan Chandra is having headache. How many of you give? Let's take a poll. No? Even after hearing the story. In confusion. If Krishna Radha Vrindavan Chandra says, anybody from RVC Yoga, if they give their dust of the lotus feet, then my headache will be gone. How many of you will be ready? No one? Very good. Don't worry, you will not go to hell. Hmm? Still we are difficult, na? The gopis, when they came to know, they immediately gave. Narad Muni asked, what? Do you know what is the consequence? You'll have to go to hell for eternity. They said, that's all? No problem. You take the dust first. Apply. Later we'll see. We are ready. Hmm? So it may be very easy to tell the story, but if you are in that situation, it's very difficult. Na? Oh hell, I want to go to Golopama. I don't want to go to hell. So selfless. They are not worried at all what will happen. So that's why that is love. Calm is exactly opposite. One expects so much. They say love, love in this world. eh? But how long the love lasts? Na? Man, woman stays. So many divorces, so many extramarital affairs. And how can that be love? Love is here. The definition was here. Love is, what does that? It is continuous. No? There is no hindrance for the love. One word came which I wanted to. Inability, or what was that word? Some different word only. I thought of. You see, it lacks continuity and inebriating. Please search the word, meaning of this. You found it? First paragraph only we read, na? Our real love is continuous and unending, but because that love is reflected pervertly in this world, it lacks continuity and is inebriating. Huh? Habitual, inebriating, huh? Intoxicating. It lacks continuity and is inebriating. Means the reflected love means like lust. It lacks continuity and is inebriating. Means it is intoxicating. Or what is it? And what else? Habitual, habitual, lacks, habitual. No, no, no. Huh? It's inebriating. Acha, means it's addictive, or one gets attached, maybe like that. But it's in negative sense. You know? So, okay, one may be attached or intoxicating. Okay, that is material love, but that intoxication also doesn't last long. One becomes disillusioned soon, eh, in the love of this world, right? And they say love, love, they say unconditional love for the love of the man and woman. But there are so many conditions. Eh? Yesterday only Radheshyam in the class was telling, one boy fell in love with a girl, they loved each other. But then the boy went to the girl's father, and then the father said, if you want to marry my daughter, you should have minimum 10 lakh rupees salary, miss, per annum. And he had something 4 lakh or something, per annum. So he said, soon I will start earning, and I will get, it will take some few years. So please give me time. The father said, that is the door, and you get out. So even in this world, so many conditions are there for the love. Love cannot be unconditional. hmm? If a husband says, or the boyfriend says to girlfriend, I am having headache, if you put your dust on my head, the headache will go, but in return you have to go to hell. Which girl will agree? If any girl will agree, that we can call it unconditional love. How many things? Not for some years, eternity. So really, it's a huge difference, na? Like iron and gold. It's so the love they call love, but it doesn't last for long, and also it has so many conditions, so many conditions. And nowadays, girls, boys, they also pose themselves. They have good salary. Their age also they will they're young, and they will show the picture which is edited, and then later they come to know so many problems. So many yes, he has this problem, that problem. Salary is also not that much. Age is also more than what is showed, and then they become disillusioned. होता है ना ऐसे? I heard only. You might be knowing more. So the love is so much conditional. It has a lot of condition and it has a lot of obstacles. It is not continuous. But the love of the spiritual world between Radha, Krishna, and all the gopis, that is so unconditional. Mm. When Lord was separated from all the gopis and Lord went to Mathura, so that time they were crying and crying and crying and crying, and they daily would wait and they would see the road, towards Mathura. Krishna might be coming today. And they would long in the evening, till evening, they would, nahi, aaj nahi aaya. Maybe tomorrow. And then like that again, for how many years they lived like that? Gopis in anticipation of Krishna for 100 years almost. Krishna came after 100 years only. Later, after he killed Dantavakra and like that. So for 100 years, who will wait? Any boyfriend or girlfriend will wait for the other person daily waiting. After some time, they say, let it I will run away with somebody else. Who will wait for so long? Is it not? But the gopis waited for so long for Lord Krishna. And when they came to know that even Krishna, when Uddhava came, so that time Uddhava said, oh, Lord Krishna is also remembering all of you. And he also becomes morose and he also suffers in separation from you. He also cries. So that time, gopis felt all the more bad. Yeah. They felt, oh, Krishna is also suffering. They felt he should not suffer. Yeah. So they suffered all the more after hearing that Krishna is suffering in separation. But in mundane love, what will happen? What will be the reaction in the huh? Happy that he's suffering in my suffering. That's good because I am also suffering. You should also suffer. That is nice. But the gopis felt bad. Their suffering all the more increase. Hearing that Krishna is suffering. These all are the symptoms of actually love. So we don't have that experience right now. So we cannot imagine really that it's such love means unconditional भी हो सकता है क्या? And that is without any break, continuous, 100. Even gopis would have waited for 200 years, 300 years also. Isn't it 100? They waited till Krishna came. And then when Krishna came to the Vrindavan, and then he actually took them all of them, then back home, back to Godhead. Like that. So they waited for Lord Krishna. So they would sit in meditation. For what? Huh? To forget Krishna. They wouldn't forget Krishna at all. Even in meditation, he would be there. Inside, he will be there. Outside, he will be there. Everywhere, everywhere, wherever they go, they will see Krishna. Oh, here Krishna did such pastime. There Krishna did such pastime. Yamuna, he would do like this. Here. So they would see Krishna outside, but they don't see Krishna. So they close the eyes. Not to forget Krishna. Here Krishna. Inside, when they close, inside also they would see Krishna. So he was so much in their consciousness. They couldn't forget Krishna. And we sit in meditation to remember Krishna, but we cannot remember Krishna only. We remember Maya very easily. For us, the smaran of Maya is very natural. No? Yeah, there everywhere we see how to enjoy only. The gopis were saying Krishna, 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 everywhere. So that is real love. So very difficult in this world to find real love. Prabhupada would say, little glimpse we see in whose relationship? In the, mother and child. Some little relationship of some glimpse. That is also not completely selfless. Why? Expectations. What? बुढ़ापे में हमारा सहारा बनेगा बेटा. I remember my mother would say in the childhood, we don't have any expectation at all from you. हमारा कहीं नहीं बेटा. We don't want anything. But still it's there. Expectation is there that at least you'll take care ahead later. Like that. Or Prabhupada says that their love is not completely selfless because they would love, means parents love their child only, not other's child so much. So still it is selfish. मेरा बेटा है इसलिए उसके ऊपर प्रेम है, दूसरा बेटा है अरे बैठ चल बैठ so she will not care for other child so much. So still it is selfish. It is not unconditional. But Krishna loves everybody and it is unconditional. He doesn't expect anything. बाद में he will take care of me. Krishna doesn't expect anything. That is unconditional love. And the gopis love or Radharani's love for Krishna, that is also unconditional. Hmm. So we have very less experience of unconditional love in this world. So it's very difficult for us to understand. ऐसा हो भी सकता है क्या unconditional love? कुछ तो expectation रहेगा थोड़ा सा at least. Something gopis must be expecting something in return or no? Or no? आश्लिष्य वा पादरतां पिनष्टुमाम् आदर्श मां मर्मातां करोतु वा. So there Radharani is saying whether he considers him as, whether he embraces or he goes away, keeping me in separation, still he will be my Lord always. It is unconditional. ऐसा कहीं पे नहीं होता. So mother's love is good, as but even that has some. I remember my father would tell one story in the childhood. He said all type of love has some or the other expectation. He was telling me. He was telling this philosophy. Every the example he also might have heard of the monkey. Heard? A mother monkey and a child monkey. They did the experiment, right? What they did? They kept a glass jar, big glass jar, transparent, and in that they kept a mother monkey and a child, a baby, both of them. And what they did? Huh? Slowly they started pouring water inside that. पानी धीरे 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 ऊपर आया तो वो मदर ने माँ ने उसको कंधे पे बिठा लिया, बच्चे को, मेरा बच्चा सर पे बिठा लिया, इसको कुछ नहीं होना चाहिए. और द वाटर स्टार्टेड राइजिंग 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 राइजिंग. फिर जब इधर तक आ गया तो बच्चे को ऐसे ऊपर रखा उसने, मेरे बच्चे को कुछ नहीं होना चाहिए, है ना. एंड देन व्हेन द वाटर स्टार्टेड राइजिंग राइजिंग, ऊपर आ गया नाक के ऊपर तो क्या किया? What the mother did? She took the child and kept below and stood on that. Hmm? So I remember in the childhood I heard this. When I heard, I was shocked. To save herself first. Whether he dies or because now the question that he or me. So then whether he goes. So that proves love is in this world selfish. It cannot be selfless. Yeah. So but Lord's love for us is actually selfless completely. Krishna loves us so much. And Gopi's love for Krishna also. So now many times people don't understand this, the love between Gopis and Lord Krishna, and they say, why at all Krishna dances with others' wives? Again, Radha in the yesterday's class was only telling, somebody asked that why should Krishna, okay, Krishna having 16,108 wives, queens, they are good because he has married, duly married. But why he should dance with others' wives in Vrindavan? The Gopis Ras Leela he did. That was not good. I am devotee of Krishna and I accept everything else. But this is very difficult for me to understand. Krishna did this mistake. One mistake he did at least in life. बाकी सब ठीक है, लेकिन ये थोड़ा गलती कर ही दिया उन्होंने. He should not have done this. There is even who said, I am ashamed to call myself Hindu. Gandhi. He was not so Mahatma. So even he got confused. But what answer he will give? कृष्ण ने एक गलती की, एक गलती से गलती हो गई या नहीं? Krishna can never make mistake. Why he danced with others' wives? He can dance with his own wives, but why with others? So you are also accepting he did one mistake. Hmm? Huh? He also came as in human form, na? So he. But why at all he should do that?
He
Huh?
just asked in previous birth if they wanted to reciprocate the love.
That Rishijari gopis, there were some gopis, but not all of them were hankering, you know. As Rishijari gopis, they asked, of course. But what about others? There were like millions of gopis. And he danced. What about that?
Krishna is the enjoyer, and we
Mm.
are all enjoyed. So, whatever everybody does for the enjoyment of Krishna.
Yeah, but uh, he is the enjoyer and others are enjoyed, but he can enjoy with his own wife. Why with others? It is immoral in this world. Somebody takes others' wife, kidnaps. There is murder and there's shooting, and it's considered most abominable. Why he should do that?
Who decides that what is moral and immoral? Is
Oh,
Krishna?
this is quite understandable. In this world, if it happens, will you ask, oh, moral, क्या बात कर रहे हो? It is moral. Anybody, even a drunkard will say this is immoral.
It's Krishna who decides that this is immoral and
So, in all the various literature, that is only told it is immoral to dance with others' wives. That's Krishna only has said.
not
Na?
applicable to Krishna.
Not applicable to Krishna. Why?
Like a president, if he goes to a traffic light,
Uh,
might not follow that.
but can president dance with others' wife? If he says, I am president of whole India, everybody's wives are my wives.
President didn't make that law.
Huh?
President didn't make that law.
Huh?
Whatever he makes that law, he may break.
He can break, huh? Are you confident? Every law which is president can break. This is a very normal that going from road and traffic, that is okay. But all laws, are you confident? Can president break all the laws in the nation which are applicable to citizen but not applicable to the president? For sure. Hit and run law. Can president's vehicle hit and run? So okay, some laws is exempted, but not all laws. Okay, I want to just hear what are your opinions? Anybody else? Somebody asked you like this question, eh? Why Krishna dance with others' wives? Actually, answer is here. We read. Huh? Yeah. So he can control everybody. So he can do anything and everything. Usually here, Prabhupada is writing, there somewhere came. And actually these gopis, they are Krishna's energy. You know? So like Jiva Goswami gives this analogy. I told in the class this time. Somebody playing flute. Hmm? You didn't hear. Like somebody playing a flute and he's enjoying his flute playing. So what happens in the flute playing is his own from the body, the air comes right and goes in the flute and then comes out from the different holes of the flute and then nice music is produced, sound, and then he is hearing. This is the process. So can somebody say, "Hey, why you are enjoying this music? Why I can't? Because it is my own air which has come out and gone in the flute and coming from the flute and I am enjoying. मेरा खुद का energy. Nobody can accuse, right? So it is Krishna's internal potency. We have said Krishna only is Radharani here. Prabhupada says. So Krishna only expands himself as Radharani, and Radharani expands in so many gopis. So it's Krishna's Shakti only. So Krishna's Shakti he is enjoying with his own Shakti. Why should anybody ask? Is it not? So another example is given, just like somebody kiss his own hand like this. No. Can somebody ask why you kissed your hand? It's my hand. Why? That much is Krishna and Radha. They are together. It's his own potency. No? So why can't he enjoy? It's his own, like own body. Eh? And they are the expansion. All the gopis are the expansion. So nobody can ask any question. So there, the husband which were there, actually they should be asked, why you are with Krishna's wives? Like that. It's on Krishna's energies. Energy and energetic are not different. Prabhupada writes, no? Energy and energetic are not different. So it's like Krishna's own energy is there and he is reciprocating with them and he is doing Ras Leela. What's the problem? Why there should be a problem? Is it not? And plus also they desired him because why? What they did? Katyani Vrat, they did for what? To have Krishna as husband. So it's not that Krishna was forcefully, come, you have to come, you have to come for us. And they say, no, no, we cannot come. They themselves desired. They did a vrata for whole 1 month to have Krishna as husband. So to reciprocate with them, Krishna did Rasla. It's not that Krishna जबरदस्ती बुला के उनको रात में आना ही पड़ेगा तुमको, you have to come, I will send some vehicle for you to get to the forest. ऐसा नहीं था. They themselves came, they themselves desired, they wanted to have Rasla, and Krishna just reciprocated. So these two reasons we can give, quite convincing that they are all Krishna's energy. As much as a body, a limb of a body, you can do anything with that. You cannot ask. So they were like Krishna's parts and parcel. They are Krishna's energy. So Krishna dancing with them were absolutely fine. And they themselves wanted to dance. They desired themselves. What do you have problem? You can ask. So we should be able to answer because this is the one thing which most of the people get confused and they ask. सब कुछ ठीक है, बाकी सब कुछ ठीक है, ये क्यों गया? बड़े बड़े भक्त भी है ना, they try to hide this under the carpet. हमसे नहीं, ऐसा हुआ ही नहीं था. Anyways, that is actually real love. So anaya radhito nunam Bhagwan Harir Ishvara Yanno Vihaya Govinda Prito Yad Anayadraha. So anaya aradhito nunam aradhito. This word comes in Bhagavatam, right? You can read the translation of that verse. Yeah. You can search this anaya aradhito nunam Bhagwan Harir Ishvara. It comes in the 10th canto, I think. Anaya aradhito nunam Bhagwan Harir Ishvara. No Vihaya Govinda. Itoyat Anayadraha. So here slight indication of Radharani comes in the Bhagavatam. Verse also you read. Suddenly this particular gopi has perfectly worshipped the all-powerful Godhead, Govinda, since he was so pleased with her that he abandoned the rest of us and brought her to a secluded place. So here is the slight indication Sukadeva Goswami gave. Aradhito. But he never took Radharani's name in whole Bhagavatam because he is such a great devotee. So that kind of love Radharani and Krishna has, that is actually gold. That is real love. So that is love is not like the mundane love. That's why Sukadeva Goswami is describing, who is completely renounced. Then who else is describing? Mahaprabhu himself. Huh? So great sannyasis, great renunciates, they are discussing the love between Radha Krishna. If it is mundane, they will not have discussed. Because it is completely divine, they are discussing. By discussing that love, actually our lust goes away. So how that love will be mundane? You know? So many proofs can be given that that love is completely divine and divine and divine. It is not mundane. But what has happened is, just like Ramanand who used to give example. हम अगर बोलेंगे कि देखो अपने garden में, if somebody comes to you and tells in our NVCC garden and boy and girl are sitting, you say, ah, really? Boy and girl sitting? Then what comes to your mind is boy and girl sitting in the garden? How come? And then you go, you tell the security, and you and the security go there, and you see a boy and a girl, 5 years old, they both are sitting. But when somebody says that a boy and girl are sitting in the garden, what comes to your mind? A young boy and a young girl sitting and doing something there. Because that has become so much in this material world. Boy girl means that mundane relation, means lust. For us to understand Krishna and Radha means they must be doing same thing also. We think like that because we are being conditioned like that. Mm. So, but that is not so. Very difficult for us to understand, right? That is not lust, that is love. Because हर जगह पे हम lust ही देखते हैं. Boy girl, Radha Krishna, boy girl together means they must be having lust on. So right now very difficult to understand, but at least as we follow the regulative principles and continue devotional service, the stage will come where we can understand some glimpse of real love. And Prabhupada says actually Krishna loves a cow in Vrindavan as much as he loves Radharani. That is like love, actual love. So to understand love is really very difficult at this stage because kind of our wiring is done. Like, some people cannot understand this pastime, especially. But we can explain little bit if they can understand. Otherwise, leave them. They have to first understand. Understand means what? Understand under the lotus feet of Krishna. Then they can understand Krishna. Okay, I have to go to Hilda. Anybody has any question? Okay, you and then you can also ask. Pardon?
That Lord Sri Ram is greater because he followed one Patni Vrat Dharma.
Hmm.
And what about like Krishna? Like so you, as we said, part and parcel, no? So even daughter, father and daughter, part and parcel only.
Hmm.
So in that way, doesn't it feel little? And sometimes they tell Ramchandra is greater because he followed. Why couldn't Krishna do that? Like they think that that thing is only bad.
Ajay, you are saying that Lord Ram is better than Krishna.
Like that people.
Because he was Maryada Purushottam. He had only one wife, and Krishna had so many wives. Yeah, see, you can explain. Of course, you can explain to devotees because outside people may not understand. Why Krishna married 16,100? Why? He went after that. So, actually, that time, if you see, that was the greatest act of mercy by Lord Krishna. Because they were touched by a king. Who was the king? Narkasur. Kamasur. And that time the system was nobody can marry now. Once you have touched the woman, so she is contaminated. So now even Krishna could say, oh, I cannot marry. What people will say? So Krishna forgo his fame, name, whatever, I don't care because they are in such great trouble. They are my devotees. For the sake of devotees, hell with my name, fame. I don't care. Even if they are touched by somebody, I will accept them. No problem. They were so happy. And they desired him. It was not Krishna kidnapped them and he you ask them, if Krishna kidnapped them, hmm, is it not the greatest act of mercy that time? How they would have remained like that without any help? Krishna, without caring for his fame, he married. So is it glorious or unglorious? So we should know the history. People know half only. Hmm. Yeah. Yes.
So one of the answer one might get like in Brahma Mohan Leela, when all the power was taken by Brahma, and Krishna expanded, and at that time married to all the gopis.
Hmm.
So it's Krishna's wife in one sense. And they are well, one answer might be give.
Hmm.
Actually, I used to give to that person who questioned me. That's why.
For a new person to understand this pastime is also quite difficult, where Krishna, Brahma Lila, and then he expanded, and then he married, and then there was why. Why did he do at all like that? Why he married them? Everyone. And then they are others, and then you marry and then say they are mine, then you again take them. Still, it is not moral. From mundane moral viewpoint, it's like you married in the form taking of their husband, like that you married, and then they were there with them for some years, and later again you call them.
Hmm.
Mundane morality, it's not good. Anyway, people sometimes quite difficult for them, but I found this one or two answers quite convincing. One is that hand example. I liked it very much. It's
Flute,
my hand. My hand. It's my
flute
own.
one is also flute one is also very good.
Flute. Yeah, that is Goswami. So it's a part of his own body. It's like his own body. Why? Who will ask anybody you do something with your body? It's my body. I can do anything. It's as much as they are connected. Krishna and gopis like that. Krishna only manifested. No? Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna nahi anya vaise, Radha Krishna same only. Same as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They were previously one and then they separated. Again became one. So there is no difference. He is only reciprocating with his own energy, with his own body. Nobody can ask you why you are doing like this with your body. It's my body, I will do anything. And in this world also, you cannot ask. What is father daughter? Oh, no, no. I give the example of hand. Is your hand.
Still God and we are like one in ourselves and different also because he is one entity and we are an entity. Father and daughter is also
They are not part and parcel. Father daughter are not part and parcel at all. Okay. Huh? No, they are not. That you are thinking. Actually, this last time somebody gave like this answer that mother and son, that son cannot go again. Prabhupada said, "Na, one place he cannot go again back in the mother's womb." So one person raised this question. They are mother and son are not part and parcel, but Lord and we are part and parcel. So can we go back, and merge into the Lord? So the argument was given. So yeah, father, son, daughter, they are not part and parcel at all. Hey, nahi. That is wrong logic. Asha, let me tell you. Asha, from the mother, son is coming, part and parcel. Um, from Krishna we come. So what can be the differences? We from Krishna we are coming, and from mother son is coming. Many differences. What? What is the difference of jivas coming from the Lord and son coming from mother? है कुछ difference?
he's hungry or
Yes. And Krishna has full control over all the jivas who are there. The mother has full control over the child who is born. Sometimes the mother only dies when the child is. होता है. So there is a lot of differences, many differences are there. You cannot consider a mother, son as part and parcel. होता है क्या, from so many souls coming from Krishna and Krishna dies because of the pain. So many souls came. But इसमें होता है. Have you heard about not? Mother dies. The pain is excruciating. The mother dies. क्या part and parcel है ही नहीं. Part and parcel is what हमें amsh is in the right word, amsh. So we are Lord's amsh. Son is not amsh of mother, not in any way. Neither daughter is amsh of father. Father requires mother, mother requires father. Krishna requires anybody to create souls? Brahma he created like that only. Can mother create alone son? Can daughter? Can father create daughter alone? So many differences are there. And you are getting, you cannot say the part and parcel. Amsha. Krishna can say, Mama Vansha Jiva Loki Jiva Bhota. Maybe Amsha hai. Father cannot say, mother cannot say. ठीक है? हरि बोल. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Teachings of Lord Chaitanya ki jai. The golden avatar.